Your orders, comrade.
Welcome to a 1v1 on Semoskiy. This game is going to be Antilles 950 versus Jove. Antilles playing as Upper Commando West in the west of Semoskiy. Spec Ops, Scavenge, and Luftwaffe versus Jove's Guard Motor, Shock Rifle, Tank Hunter, Soviets. So he's clearly going full meta, and Antilles is going to very aggressively push here with his Stern Pios for the cutoff house. Green cover is being constructed right there, though, and it looks like it will complete. So conscripts at this range should be able to win an engagement against Stern Pios in this building with their green cover. Good thing he built that, by the way. Gives him some good protection against that initial Stern Pio rush. And if Antilles is going to utilize this extremely aggressive opening, looks like he's going to go flag half-track as well. He should have built a Kuba wagon, I think, because trying to execute a very aggressive early cutoff here with Stern Pios kind of requires the assistance of a Kuba wagon, and it can be very difficult to pull off versus Soviets. A little easier versus US forces. So trying to do this without a Kuba wagon clearly is not really working. He has no early suppression source and no support for his Stern Pios at all, and they're kind of stranded here now. He will jump back in the house. He's already lost one model, and it looks like he's basically lost this engagement, and he should probably try and pull back to safety at this point, since both of these conscript squads are in green cover and engaging him very cost effectively. This squad is now at less than half health. Third squad of Volksgrenadiers on the field now. He is going to be backcapping the south and north simultaneously with these Volksgrenadiers, and there's the retreat from those Stern Pios. He's not thrown fuel transfer on, so I'm not sure if he's going to try and get that flak half-track out just that little extra bit quicker or not. He does have control of this south fuel for now, though. He stalled Jove's advance here at the cutoff for a little while with those Stern Pios, so that is a bit of a benefit in and of itself. He's going to be tied up taking control of these points here in the center village, and that'll slow down his harassment of the south fuel. Combat engineers will make it to the cutoff up here, though, pretty much unopposed and unslowed by the Stern Pios. And this squad of Volksgrenadiers making its way out of the base towards this general area. Conscripts jumping inside of this house. This squad of conscripts taking control of the center victory point. This will provide vision to Jove of everything in this general area.
This now belongs to us. Engineers have secured the sector. Objective secured. We will defend it to the death. That took too long. Contact with enemy infantry. Faster. Enemy contact.
Volksgrenadiers jumping into green cover here against these conscripts. Stern Pios moving up on the flank of these conscripts. Don't do that much damage to them before they make it into the house. Another squad of supporting conscripts will force these Sterms towards the west. Green cover right here. They're too low to continue engaging, and there's the retreat. And they're not Vet 1 yet either, so no medical boxes. Volksgrenadiers will get forced away by these two squads of conscripts, and the Volksgrenadier squad in the south will be forced away. Until his decision not to go fuel transfer up to the flak half-track is making it very late. Very late. He has gone Luftwaffe and field an MG-34 to try and get some suppression going. Can be difficult to use the MG-34 on this map because of how many buildings and how much green cover there is, but he may feel he at this point has no choice but to try and utilize it to break Jove's containment. Conscript squads taking control of these strategic points will make their way towards the south and get Antilles fuel. He's going to have to send something south to get rid of these two squads very soon. He will pull a couple squads north with this harassing squad of Volksgrenadiers, though, so that will be somewhat helpful.
The enemy has cut off a sector. Anti-tank mines set
A couple squads reinforcing here in the base. Antilles has the fuel for a flak half-track, but his manpower management hasn't been exactly optimal. So it's still going to be a little late. Should be able to queue that up very soon.
We are targets!
Volksgrenadiers make their way towards the house right here. Two squads harassing the south fuel, and that will be all of Antilles' fuel cut off. It can be very hard to maintain a fuel point as Upper Commando West on this map. This map, by the way, is a nightmare for OKW this patch. If OKW wasn't already weak enough, trying to work flanks that are so far away from the base simultaneously in either of these locations is extremely difficult, plus trying to maintain control over your own cutoff or the central village, which is probably part of what makes the offensive containment strategy for OKW so appealing. Clearly it's not working for Antilles though, since he didn't go Kuba Wagon and his flak half-track is late. Stern Pyos will fail in their solo attempt to retake the south, for sure, unless they're going to ignore the fuel point and just go for the bridge here and try and take control of the cutoff, which it looks like Antilles will do. Probably the right call. Volksgrenadiers hit a mine right there. These Volksgrenadiers inside the building will be forced to retreat soon since they only have one west-facing window. And here's the flak half-track. This is the only force that looks like it might succeed in an engagement against what Jove has fielded. And he has chosen guard motor coordination and floated 1,000 manpower while he waits for guards and heavy mortars. Volksgrenadiers will start taking control of the central village, and flak half-track is making its way through this area without a minesweeper. A little bit banking on the fact that the combat engineers have only planted defenses in the north, which is correct, actually, probably. I heard a mine, but I don't know what hit it. Something exploded somewhere. That was weird.
We have an isolated sector.
Red Army, at your service.
2 CPs for Jove, and he will field a squad of guards making its way towards the central village now. Antilles should try to get that flak half-track up into this position where he can actually pin those guards in the road instead of in the central village, where they will have access to a ton of green cover and buildings from which to engage this thing. It's not moving up to assist these Volksgrenadiers in this capture attempt at all. And I think while he had a free moment, he should have maybe tried to destroy that house with the flak half-track. Now those guards will have easy access to it. Probably force that flak half-track to reposition to safety. These conscripts will retreat one squad. The other one will continue to defend the fuel here in the south. The fuel in the north still solidly in Jove's control. Combat engineers will move to take that munitions now. These conscripts engaging against the Volksgrenadiers there. Flak half-track does take some PTRS fire and will back away from this building.
We are losing territory.
MG-34 doing kind of okay, not really, against those guards. Does manage to suppress them. Their cover's been destroyed. That squad in the house will be forced to retreat. Flak half-track well positioned for that blob, though. Hits the telephone pole a little bit, but other than that, good suppression. One squad will retreat. The other one trying to make it into the house, but taking heavy losses, both retreating. Nicely done by Antilles. Here comes Tier 2 in the central village. Try and set up an offensive position. Try and put a lot of pressure on Jove's cutoff right here. But again, he's not positioning himself very aggressively. This is another huge opportunity after this full retreat to move right up to this green cover right here. Move the flak half-track right up there to fire on the road itself and actually contain Jove in his base rather than just kind of hanging out back here. He has not swept this area for mines yet, so that is something he could do. He's purchased a minesweeper. It's not out right now, though. And I don't think he'll win an engagement. Actually, maybe. The route he's currently taking, he might be able to pop out behind a bush and force a retreat right there. But he's not at full health, which is the main concern. We'll see how that engagement goes. MG-34 is protecting this general area. Volksgrenadiers making their way to maybe try and take control of this cutoff again. 2 squads of guards on the field now, and Jove is going to field Tier 2, try and throw out a AT gun, and there's a second MG-34 protecting this cutoff. While a squad of Volksgrenadiers makes its way north to take control of the fuel, so Antilles has gotten a lot of map control back, and the ambush is going pretty well down here. Very nice. Very nice engagement for Antilles. Nice ambush, nice flank. will force a retreat from that conscript squad and get control of his fuel back. He's also going to wire off some of these green cover positions to make frontal assaults more easy. Volksgrenadiers jump inside this building.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
We are taking fire! Make it quick.
With their green cover position, unlikely that Antilles will win this. The building will probably lose against guards plus conscripts in this south location. That flag half-track should move up to try and engage against something. Maybe do damage to this house. He's not really taking advantage of the fact that that's on the field. He's got pretty good vision of exactly where his opponent's stuff is right now. He's got units up here protecting against this approach. He's got his stern piles giving him knowledge of stuff down here. He has pretty good knowledge of where all of Jove's forces are. He doesn't have to be that afraid of some conscript squad appearing out of nowhere and AT-nating him, so he should try and move that flag half-track up into an aggressive location where he can actually help in these engagements. The fact that he hasn't maintained that aggressive of a containment means Jove's fuel is pretty high. And he will get tier 3 up and get out of T-34, so Antilles is going to have to try and defend against a tank very soon. He's got a Rakettenwerfer, so he's prepared. He hasn't planted any mines. Having at least one mine in your flag half-track's retreat path is always a good practice. And, he does have one Panzerschreck as well. He's going to have to be very careful not to retreat that Panzerschreck off the battlefield. He's going to need it for Rakettenwerfer flank protection. Fortunately, he does have a forward retreat point right there. So once he retreats to his forward retreat point, should be able to get that half-track Panzerschreck reinforced, healed, and available to protect the flag half-track once the T-34 arrives. And it is on its way. 12-13 minute T-34, pretty good. You will catch Antilles with minor preparation. A couple of pretty sneaky mines are in this general area as well. That flag half-track is scarily close to a Soviet mine right there. Minesweeper's going to have to clean that up. Here comes the T-34 going straight down the middle. Gets a big hit on that MG-34 squad. Rakettenwerfer, oh, it goes straight into that victory point flag. Its pathing is going to make it a little vulnerable to the Rakettenwerfer, which will get 3 consecutive shots off. Nice positioning on the Rakettenwerfer. Again, if there had just been a mine in that road, no minesweep attempt by Jove at all, that would have been a dead T-34, guaranteed. Could have punished that a lot harder. Pretty bad overextension by that tank. Antilles is a little hurt for munitions, though. He probably just is spending that on Panzerschrecks. Should not have charged into guards in green cover over open ground. That was just silly to even attempt. Flag half-track working on the guards in this building. Will bring the structure down eventually. Here in the north, MG-34 working on a squad of conscripts might force that retreat. Squad making its way through the north to flank. This squad of guards is eventually forced to retreat by something. I'm not actually sure what happened to them. They fell extremely low though and will be forced off the field. Squad in this house will be forced out from flag half-track fire. And this MG-34 is about to get flanked and will probably need to reposition back to the battle group very soon. These conscripts could move into shorter range though. There they go. They were attack moving, I think, so they stopped as soon as they were in attack range. This is probably a bad idea. On the one hand, it will protect against any advance for the munitions and victory point up here, but on the other hand, it'll be extremely difficult to protect this. Once the T-34-85s arrive, they can just drive up here and kill this if Antilles doesn't have any forces up here, and if he does dedicate forces up here, it'll weaken his position in the middle, so I don't think I agree with that truck placement. But we'll see if it pays off or not. Flag half-track just hit a mine. Fortunately, nothing's available to follow up. Should probably try and get that minesweeper out when he's not engaging, just as a good habit to establish, have that minesweeper out. Should be able to get that repaired though. T-34 is fully repaired and is moving to engage. Heavy mortar does not take any significant harassment right there. There is a second Panzerschreck protecting the flank. Still no mine in this road from Antilles, and that looks like that T-34 might take the exact same aggressive path that it took before. Rakettenwerfer is in the church though. gets a shot off, T-34 will back off. So the Raketendwerfer is actually serving as a deterrent to prevent that T-34 from making an overly aggressive push. He might consider instead putting a mine on his flank now, since Jove is going to be making slightly different maneuvers. It only takes that T-34 hitting one good mine for Antilles to maybe destroy that. So, and that's your best chance when you're still waiting for your Tier 4 units to hit the field. He has built all 3 tech structures, which means his Panther is going to be very late compared to his opponent's call-in tanks. Volksgrenadiers will retreat right here.
Your predecessor died a hero.
Vehicles can be marked and targeted.
And against guard motor coordination, you may not even want to go Tier 4. You may want to just get the Jagdpanzer out.
Heads down.
Oh man. Apparently I'm better than cable TV for Left Hand Man. Thank you so much for your $2 donation, Left Hand Man. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that you enjoy. I'm glad that you enjoy my casts more than True Blood. Better than True Blood confirmed. Better than Game of Thrones. Does anybody else here watch Game of Thrones? I watched the first season. I read all the books though. That's the only reason I stopped watching, because I was like, I already know everything that's gonna happen. Good books. Guards jumping into this building right here. MG-34. Oh no! We'll get flanked to death here on the strategic point. And is killed. Flak half-track's a little late to support. We'll pin down that squad. And that's forced retreat. Everything will retreat. Ooh, actually detonated his own mine right there, thanks to a lucky flak half-track burst. Nice. Here in the south, fuel point's about to be taken. Here, guards are taking control of this strategic point. Ooh. Grenade over the hedge, wipes the Volksgrenadier squad with a lucky flame crit right there until he's falling a little low. He only has 2 Volksgrenadier squads remaining. He has gone double Raketendwerfer in preparation for the T-34-85s. So he's got a pretty decent amount of anti-tank, honestly, but his anti-infantry now is what's suffering. He's up against 4 stolen MG-34. Now look at this. He's up against a ton of infantry. He has only stern piles, 1 machine gun, and this black half-track as an anti-infantry damage source, which is just not even close to enough. Especially when getting nailed by heavy mortars all game long. He's just getting wrecked. Guards on his flank, guards here in the cemetery, heavy mortar bombarding him from range, lost a Raketendwerfer right there, down to almost no infantry forces left. This squad's going to get killed. And it looks like there's probably, at this point, nothing Antilles is going to be able to do to recover this game. I think if Antilles had thrown up his Tier 4 structure somewhere here in the middle instead of way here in the north, he might have benefited from it more. I think he probably, most importantly, should not have gone Tier 4 at all, because even the fuel setback aside, even the 200 manpower is really important to have for maybe another MG-34 against the massive guard spam, protect more flanks. I think if he had planted 1 protective mine here on this road, he might have been able to kill the T-34. And if he was going to go for a really aggressive containment strategy on this map, he needed to start with a Kubelwagen, and he needed to more aggressively push this cutoff when he had an opening to do so. So a few things that Antilles could have worked on, and from Jove, I think we saw pretty textbook guard motor play from him. I don't really need to, comment on things he could have done better, because I think he executed quite well, took the game, so well played Jove, GG, and Allies win.